Who's going for coffee? Who's going for coffee? So no one's going for coffee. Who's going for coffee?
All right, good morning. Welcome back, everybody who's going for coffee this morning. I got Chris Sciortino here.
Yeah, it's Sciortino.
Sciortino. So I've been saying that wrong for
everybody says it wrong.
You gotta correct people when they say your name.
Yeah.
Listen, I got my last name is 4 letters, and people have been mispronouncing that forever.
Right.
And I've yet to get to the point where I'm okay with them mispronouncing it. I just stop them dead in their tracks.
Yeah, in the Marine Corps, they just cut it short. Call me Tino. That was it.
Tino.
Yeah.
All right, and then you lived with that. You know, we want to bring you guys in, the veterans that are here. You know, we're going to talk about, you know, your life over there and how you got here, and we're going to talk about helmets and what you're doing now and your family and all that. But I got to tell you, you know, I come from a family of veterans. My father, my grandfather, and my great-grandfather all in the Navy.
Right.
And I call them all the best potato peelers the South Pacific ever saw. You know?
Right.
But I come from that family, right? So, you know, for me, coming out of high school, may have been an option for me, except, you know, I had a baseball career. I decided I was going to go doing college instead. But, you know, the respect I have for you guys is just incredible. So, you know, thank you for, I'm sure you hear it all the time. Thank you for your service, but
appreciate it.
It really is, you know, because what you guys have done allows dopes like me to be able to, you know, live our lives,
right,
you know, in a safe manner. We take a lot of things for granted.
I come from a military family as well. I mean, my grandmother was served in World War II. She was
really,
yeah. She was like a chef for the Army. That's where she met my grandfather. He was an accountant, civilian side for the Army. So my oldest uncle, who was the first Marine in the family, he was actually born in Germany. So
where in Germany was he born?
Whatever the military base is there for the Army, you know, at the time.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so my uncle was born in Germany, and my aunt, my mom's youngest of 5, so my aunt was also born in Germany. They were born dual citizenship, wow, which is pretty awesome.
So going into the service for you, that's what was happening.
Yeah, I have cousins who were in Desert Storm all the way to, you know, Enduring Freedom, which I was a part of as well.
Right.
So uncle in the Navy, uncle in the Marine Corps, grandmother in the Army. So the whole family's been.
So there must be some walls in some of your homes, but there's a whole bunch of pictures of everybody.
Yeah, they call it the military wall.
The military
picture
wall.
of all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time.
That is a good time.
Yeah.
I'm sure you go in there and look sometimes and just, you know, see the people that have been there.
Yeah.
Right. Think about what they were going through. But so right out of high school, you went right in.
I wish. No, I didn't. I was supposed to.
Yeah.
I got a little caught up in being a rebellious teenager, I guess. And I ended up joining 2009. I graduated 2006. I joined 2009.
Okay.
Turned 21 in boot camp. I was a reservist out of 6Com Brooklyn. A lot of guys that I deployed with in 2011 actually came to Local 1 right after Hurricane Sandy, or Superstorm Sandy at the time. There was a huge influx. But yeah, that was pretty much the transition to. So prior to the Marine Corps, I was doing diesel mechanics for Penske Truck Leasing at the time. You know, just swapping out diesel parts and stuff like that. And then I was able to join the Marine Corps again. And
so when's that moment that light bulb goes off and says, you know what? I gotta go into the Marine Corps.
As soon as I got the phone call, they're like, yo, you still want to do this? I was like, yeah, absolutely.
So it was always in the back of your mind, like, you know,
well, yeah, I mean, when I was young, 9/11 happened. So, you know, it was in the front of my mind, like, that's what I wanted to do. So when I got myself a little jammed up, I decided, all right, maybe this isn't for me. And then as soon as everything cleared, it was right back on track.
So what's it like, you know, you come out of, you know, those 2-3 years that you kind of just doing your thing, and then boom, here it goes. Like, can you kind of think back a little bit and, all right, man, I'm here.
I absolutely hated working on trucks. You know, like, I did it because it was a good job. My brother-in-law was like the foreman there.
Yeah.
And he was kind of like, kid, you got to get some stability in your life. You need to do something. And I didn't mind, you know, doing the diesel truck stuff, but it was like, I didn't want to be laying on my back underneath underneath the truck all
Right.
day, you know, and I was like, I got to figure out what this is. And I was still young at the time. I was 18 years old,
Yeah.
you know, I didn't really have much idea. The plan that I thought I was going to take, I didn't take.
Right.
So I was just
It's
trying to
usually
keep
the
it
case
moving.
for most.
Yeah. So I was just
You know?
trying to keep it moving and figure things out. I mean, by the time I was 20, I was good to go. I was ready to turn 21 at boot camp.
Yeah.
You know, that was a day, but that was it. Yeah. And then I was just trying to work towards a deployment at that point. 2009, I graduated from boot camp, and then it was, you know, as a reservist, if you want to deploy, you have to like kind of earn that spot,
Right.
you know? So I just kept working towards that.
So what was your first deployment?
First and only, Afghanistan. They called the 11 TAC 2 deployment. I was a 35-36, which is, I say it's like a glorified tow truck driver, but it was an up-armored tow truck. So
Right.
vehicles that would get, you know, blown up in IED blast, I would recover, essentially, you know, and that was my primary job.
How long were you over there for?
I was only there for 5 months, 5.5 months. They started it was coming towards the end of the one campaign and the beginning of another.
Right.
They went from Enduring Freedom, and then they started doing the retrograde, where we were kind of slowly pulling out of Afghanistan at that point, you know, but still doing missions and, you know, resupplies and picking up material, stuff like that. That's what Motor T did, you know, moved bodies and material, really.
That's got to be a real unique place over there. I have to admit, I have no clue, obviously, but people just don't realize.
You know what? Some of it's not all bad. I mean, maybe
Well, not
it's
so
just
much
my
all-
experience.
Not
but
all bad, but just different than.
it's definitely different.
Right.
I mean, it's just the desert. You know, there's
Yeah.
mountains there. It's different than New York. You know, we have skyscrapers. They have mountains.
Yeah.
It's not all bad. You have I made a lot of good friends, people that I still talk to. I mean, the guy who ran the sword ceremony for my wedding lives in Nevada. You know, like he
Yeah.
flew from Nevada to New York after being away from his family, and ran a sword ceremony for me for my wedding.
Wow.
It was pretty awesome. Yeah, and I still see him now. Actually, he'll be in New York in I want to say 2 weeks from now, and he said he's going to stop by, which is good because I haven't
Good.
seen him in
So
probably.
you guys will connect.
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
So you still keep in touch with some guys that you were over there with?
Oh, a few of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
a bunch of them. Yeah, some of them transitioned to you know, like the police force. It seems to be very common. A lot of the guys that I know from my unit, you know, they became cops or firemen, and some of them work for Homeland Security. Like they do
All kinds of things.
all kinds of things, man.
All
I'm
kinds of
glad I
things.
got this though. This kind of fits me.
It does fit you.
Yeah.
You've come, you come in and you've knocked it out of the park. So you come out of the service. Was there ever a thought to stay and make that your career?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought about it, you know. But what happened was I got engaged right before I left to go to Afghanistan, which is kind of a typical Marine thing to do. Like, oh, I got to tell this girl I love her, I want to marry her, you know? And then by the time I came home, you know, she was planning the wedding while I was gone. And it's like shortly after, you know, she got pregnant and we were just having babies,
There you go.
you know? And yeah, I want to say 2 weeks after I came back from my deployment, they wanted me to go right back out.
Right.
Because I had achieved very well. I got meritoriously promoted while I was in Afghanistan. And so because I was a reservist, they had to write a letter back to my unit. And I think I had a first sergeant and 2 sergeants write meritorious packages for me and sent it back to Brooklyn. They're like, you guys got to fucking give this kid a pay raise. He's doing good, you know?
Yeah.
So
you had a real good experience over there. That was good.
yeah, there's a lot of experience over there. It's an eye opener because it is a different way of life for them. And, you know, you're being under that constant stress of, oh man, I could be driving down this road today and tomorrow I could be blown up.
Right.
You know, that's a stressor. I mean, things that you don't really worry about back here, you know?
That's always in the back of your mind over there, though, right? That's something you got to be conscious of.
Yeah.
You ever get used to that?
Well, that's where the saying complacency kills comes in.
Yeah.
So I have this theory that's like, it's okay to be comfortable, but never be complacent.
Right.
You know, like you want to be comfortable. You want to be aware of your surroundings and not be in a heightened state of fear. Same thing with elevators. You want to know what's going on. You don't want to be afraid of it, but you can't get lazy with it.
Right.
You know, you can't be complacent. You have to know what you're doing, know that there's a danger there, and just stay focused.
Yeah, most people think complacency is a good word. It's actually, I think it's a bad word.
It's a horrible word.
It's terrible. It's nice. The concept of it is Nice.
Comfortable, not complacent.
But
That's my theory.
Yeah, you said it perfectly.
Yeah.
Right. It's people that get complacent. You know, it holds them back. They don't, you know, push through and accomplish things. I'm good.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
feel like complacency is the cousin of lazy.
it is.
You know, so I don't
You're right.
stay away from that.
So listen, you come out of the service,
Mm-hmm.
and that period of time before coming to Local 1, right? So what are your thoughts? You come out, like, what do you?
I came out, wasn't really sure what I was going to do. I figured I got that Marine Corps thing. I was, you know, I was a shoo-in for security, maybe work my way towards the police force. I started taking all the civil service exams, scored really well. Before I deployed, I had signed up for the fireman's exam. So I took that test like a week after I came home. They ended up throwing that test out. It was one of those years there was some sort of discrepancy.
Right.
I think I scored really high on the fireman's exam. And then, so I started doing security. You know, I think I have a security license still. So I started doing security. And then one of my, I call him my battle buddy, one of my best friends, he had a roommate who was from his unit, but wasn't on the deployment with us. And he was like, yo, because you ever heard of helmets to hard hats? I go, nope. You know, and he plugged me in. He goes, you got to try out elevators. I'm like, what do you do? You know, what is an elevator? You know, what do you press a button, go up and down? He goes, no. He goes, we build them.
Yeah.
And he started showing me his paychecks. I was like, this is sick. You know, I was doing overnights, you know, security, you know, 10, 12 hours sometimes. And he was over here doing an 8-hour check for significant more.
So he works in the industry now.
He worked in the industry for about 11 years, and then he, family stuff, he decided that he needed to make a move.
Right.
And he actually lives in Puerto Rico now, and he's doing business for himself. He's doing really well.
Nice.
But he did really well while he was here. And, one of my other buddies, he just recently transferred down to in the international. Him and his family wanted to get away from New York, and he's down in Tampa now, just crushing it. You know, so
74.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's killing it over there.
So you go to Helmets,
Mm-hmm.
right? We'll talk about them a little bit. Phenomenal organization, right? Ann
Best.
Trinkle and what she's
And
been
Allie,
doing there,
Kate,
and Allie, and,
Linda, they're all awesome.
excuse me.
Yeah.
Phenomenal, right? So
Mhm.
when I came and took over school in 12, you know, doing those recruitments or, you know, their direct entry program that, you know, most of the trades have a relationship with, and, you know, between doing recruitments or the many recruitments that we do with them, our interaction with them is just amazing, right? What they do for you guys. So take me back to when you dial them up for the first time.
Yeah.
And what's, you know,
So my buddy gave me Ann Trankel's number, and like
she's a trip, right?
she's the best.
She's the best.
We call her Mama Tranks.
Yeah.
She looks out for all of us, you know. And yeah, so he gave me Ann's number, but not like the office number, like her direct number. So I call her herself. She's like, "Who's this?" You know. I go, "Oh, I got your name, you know, from Ruben and Sean. They told me to give you a call." Blah blah. Blah. She goes, "Well, did you fill out the thing online?" I was like, "No." She's like, "Well, first you got to go do an application. Like you got to upload your resume a little bit. You got to go to the website and plug in your information, and then we'll get back to you. You know."
Yeah.
I was like, "No problem." So I did it immediately, and she called me back like a day later. She goes, "All your buddies are at Local 1. Do you want to interview with them?" I was like, "I'll interview anywhere, but yeah, it's kind of where I want to go." And it was very, very quick and very easy. I think what made it so easy was that it was 2013 and Superstorm Sandy had just come in,
Mhm.
and there was
There was a ton of work.
ton of work. There was a ton of work. They would just, it was like you said, a direct entry program, and I just went to work almost immediately. It was good.
So you didn't go through recruitment. You just got direct entered.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was great. And I was trying to put on everybody that I knew with it, you know, say, hey,
Yeah.
you got to check this out. Even if you don't get, you know, into Local 1. Like, I think I've told at least 4 of the guys, you know, I transitioned out of the Marine Corps, and I still had guys who were in there, and they're like, I have no clue what I'm going to do when I'm done with this, you know? And I was like, you need to go talk to Ann Trankel and help start that. So now I got some buddies over at Local 14, got buddies at 731, you know, just
Listen,
all over the place.
They do a great job in placing guys. They know where the good fit is,
Mm-hmm.
right? All the trades great. They know where the good fits are. This person should be, you know, is a good fit here. This person's a good fit here, and help and steer you guys. And I'm sure a lot of guys say, hey, I want to go here because my buddies are there, or have heard these stories, my neighbor, my parents, or whatever. But they just do such a great job. Have you ever participated or been here when they do their open house?
I haven't made it to an open house,
Yeah,
but I try to help them out as much as I can because I really do appreciate everything that organization does. I mean, there's not a whole lot of guidance given to any service member
right.
when they come out of the service.
Right.
It's kind of just like, thanks,
Yeah,
good luck.
yeah.
See you later.
Next time we do one, you should participate in that, and it'd be a great thing for you. Not that it's work, because I don't consider it work, but I think they do the best of the organizations that do outreach.
Mm-hmm.
When I have to go to high schools or colleges and there's hundreds of people in the room, there's a very small percentage of those people that are looking towards the trades, right? Most of them are looking at schools and colleges or whatever, and it's a real small percentage, right? So it's a tough night or a tough day for us sometimes, because we're sitting there, we have our booth and we have all the things out, people are walking past us, they don't realize who the hell we are.
Mm-hmm.
Where the open house with the helmets, that's a captive audience. Like every single person that's in that room is looking to get a job in the trades.
Right.
And there'll be 15 to 20 trades that are there. We like to host it. The plumbers like to host it.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a powerful event.
I
Because
bet.
here you have all these guys. I'm sitting and I'm like, man, I could just feel, I can smell it in the room, like the testosterone that's in the room and the stories everybody must be able to tell. But every single person's looking for
Still looking forward to the camaraderie.
that gig, it becomes such a great event because, all the trades get to talk, but having someone like yourself there that when they do come over and talk to us, it resonates more with somebody like you. You're their peer, right? Rather than a couple old guys talking about the trade, and it works too.
Yeah, man.
But
let me know. I'll definitely.
Yeah.
I can reach out to Ann too. You guys let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I help out whenever I can.
Yeah, it's a great day. I really, really enjoy it. The last one I had to miss because I was double booked, but those are really, we've hosted it 3-4 times.
It's great. I mean, I've definitely seen them post it. They post everything.
Yeah.
They try to keep everybody in the loop. They run a bunch of things. I mean, they get the Shark Tournament. They have the Stars and Stripes baseball.
Right.
Softball game. Like, they do everything. They kick back. They try to help people out. I see they're constantly at conventions trying to bring people into the trades, especially, their focus is veterans, but and they're very easy people to get along with. They talk great, they talk highly, and they have like no motive. The only motive is to help.
Just to help.
And that, like, they radiate that. They don't want anything in return. They just want to help you get to a place like where you're doing well. That's what they did for me and a lot of other people that I know. They just put us in a position where we can support, provide, and make a good wage. We make good money.
Sure. Listen, it's a great thing because you guys you're away fighting the bad guys, right? We do air quotes fighting the bad guys, but
so we call it.
While you're away, we're having these recruitments and doing these things that you couldn't do.
Yeah, you miss out on.
Right? So it's we love doing it. We love doing those. Many recruitments where we'll reach out to our direct entry programs, we'll bring them in, and I'm telling you, man, we have found phenomenal people doing that. Guys that couldn't do a recruitment or for whatever reason, we bring them in, we interview them, and we sit there and just like, holy smokes, man, we got to have this guy.
Yeah.
So it's great. It's a great.
I was just thinking about something really cool. So 9 years to the day that I stepped on Paris Island, I actually became a journeyman in Local 1.
Really?
It was April 13th, 2009. I arrived at Paris Island. April 13th, 2018, became a journeyman in this local.
That's a big day for you.
Yeah, 13 is my lucky number, man. It worked out nice. I don't know what it made me think of that, but it just kind of all clicked together just now. That's nice.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
April 13th. That's great.
Yep.
So listen, you come in right after Sandy. Where were you working? Was it downtown? I know downtown Manhattan got blasted.
I started off actually with a smaller company from Long Island.
Okay.
Then it didn't really work out for me there. I guess, I don't know if it was just like so many people getting pulled downtown that and then some of the other shops were like, oh, we need guys. So I worked for that company for probably like 6 months. And then I ended up at Thyssen, where I met I call him my mentor. I think he's one of the greatest guys I've ever met. He worked at the school, Vinnie Towers.
Yeah.
And I worked with him at Thyssen and for like the next 7 years. side by side. You
Right.
know, when I became a journeyman, he was a foreman, obviously, and I became a journeyman.
Teacher in the
underneath him.
school.
Taught in the school,
Yep.
wealth and knowledge, sweetheart of a guy.
Yeah.
And so I followed him around for a little bit, actually. So, you know, I went from Thyssen to Hudson and then Schindler, where I've been for a while. Been at Schindler for almost 10 years, maybe something like that, 9-10 years.
Yeah. Do you stay in touch with Vinny at all?
All the time.
Yeah.
I call
He's
him
down in Florida.
Yeah, he's retired now. He's doing great. I talk to him at least once, twice a month, easily. Yeah, just to check up on him. You know, he likes to hear what's going on. I feel like when guys retire, I try to keep in touch with some of the guys that have taught me and trained me that retired, because they still want to know what's going on.
Sure they do.
You know, it's hard to walk away from. It's the same concept as keeping in touch with the Marines that, you know, you saw on your deployment. For me, that's what this whole thing is. You know, we say the word brotherhood, but that's really what it is. You know, you got to look out for the ones who are here now and the ones that left. You just keep in touch with your boys. You know, it means a lot to them.
I enjoy Vinny a lot. Vinny was a unique character and somebody. Listen, you know Vinny quite well. I'd like to know where he was at all times, because if the shit ever hit the fan,
yeah, he's got you.
I'm
and he was a
going by
Marine
that
as
guy.
well, and that made the transition into this really easily, because we had that bond too. Vinny was a Marine, you know, in this 80s. You know, 80s. He was a Marine Corps.
Yeah.
So you know he
was a real life tough guy.
I say he's a teddy bear.
He is.
He's still a bear though.
He is.
Don't poke the bear.
Don't poke the bear. Don't poke the bear. So what's family life like for you? So you said before you went away, you had your girl and...
We got married, and then we've had a baby like every other year for the last 10 years.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a father of 6. I got 3 boys and
No
3
kidding.
girls. Yeah.
Wow, good for you, man.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's busy. Currently working in Jersey City. Got a great crew. Working in Jersey City, come home, and then there's something else to do. You know, I got a son in boxing, 2 daughters in cheerleading, son in football, son in soccer. So it's like...
That's a busy house, man.
You have no idea.
That's a busy house.
It's a happy house. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
you know, everybody's
healthy.
Everyone's healthy.
Beautiful.
Everyone's happy. Everyone's staying busy doing their thing, and there's never a dull moment. You know, so
what's the age gap between?
My oldest is 10.
Okay.
My youngest is 1.
And the oldest is a
girl. Yeah. They run the world.
Oh, they do.
The little girls, they grab daddy up and just...
They do.
She owns the house. But she's got 2 sisters, so they own the house too.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, that's nice. That sounds like a lot of like organized chaos, right? There's a lot of going on, but it's good. It's good times.
Yeah.
My daughter's she just had a 3rd, and man, you know, what a busy house. I can't imagine.
It gets easier
6
after 3.
around, I guess.
Because they can start entertaining each other, you know?
Yeah.
So there's definitely somebody always fighting over something, but they all get along really well.
So I would think that you'd be a big proponent of the great medical benefits that the trades offer, right?
It's
Somebody like yourself with 6
unbelievable.
kids probably wouldn't be able to pull it off without
what we have? No.
What we have.
No way. I mean, I see some of my friends who aren't in the trades, you know, and they, you know, some of them are in business for themselves. They're petrified to even have kids, you know?
Right.
And I'm like, dude, I don't know how. I barely afford medical for myself. I can't imagine taking on 1 or 2 or 6 more people, you know? And, you know, somebody gets sick, we just go to the doctor.
You just go.
We just go.
Yeah.
We just go, and there's like no copayment on anything. I think, you know, if someone gets prescribed penicillin, you know, or some sort of antibiotic, it's, all right, $5. You know, you're like, oh, wow. So this is great. So all 6 of my kids can be sick at the same time, and it doesn't cost, it really doesn't cost us anything.
I mean, you think about the unfortunate people out there that pay a lot, right? Have these massive copays and deductibles, and it prevents them from going to get checked out.
Right.
They might have something going on that needs to be taken care of, and they don't go because of how expensive it is. So it's a great relief.
Oh, yeah.
You know, as a parent, knowing that
100%.
You know, my kid gets strep throat, he doesn't have to plow through it.
Yeah, my kid gets a broken nose, he's boxing. Just go to the doctor, fix it.
That's all.
You know, my daughter, you know, that cheerleading stuff is way more competitive than I ever realized. But she's, you know, flying in the air, landing on the floor.
Yeah.
And she rolled her ankle the other day. She thought she broke it. She's 10 years old. Everything's broken. I was like, we'll just take you to the doctor to tell you, you know.
So do they do any of the traveling around with the cheerleading, or?
Not yet, but this year they'll be traveling the island right now, and then if, they do really well, it goes further. But, mostly Suffolk County, they're 10, but the more competitive they get, depending upon how good the team does, they can, same thing with the boys. Yeah. The football thing could go a long way, I'm just glad they're doing sports. A lot of kids get stuck on that iPad and PlayStation nowadays.
Listen, sports is great, man. It creates this discipline, right? And listening to a coach and following direction. Some people will be like, sport, but I don't know. I think young people that are involved in sports, it
teaches you how to work with others.
Transcends into adulthood. Being able to follow direction, right? Have a goal of, hey, I want to be able to do this, or improve my skills. It happens your whole life,
right? 100%. And teach you how to work with others.
Yeah, when you start out at a young age, work as a team, it's awesome. It's great. And listen, the boxing part of it, I think that's great too, man.
You know what? It was he wanted to.
That was something that he kind of gravitated to. Or?
He just asked about it. He was doing jiu-jitsu because I feel like a lot more people more comfortable. My wife was more comfortable with him doing jiu-jitsu at one point. And then football started crossing with training days. So I said, let's put that on hold. And when the football season ended, I was like, well, listen, kid, you got to do something. You got to do some sort of sport. Right. I said, you're going to go back to jiu-jitsu? And he goes, Dad, is boxing a sport? I said, absolutely. My wife was like, no, it is. It's 100% a sport. And he's been running with that for about a year now. And he's taking a liking to it. So
nice.
Good for him. I try not to push it on him. If you want to do it,
that's something too. You can go in the garage and hit the bag too, right?
Right, 100%. You see him out there just shadow boxing trees.
Good for him, man.
As long as he likes it, that's,
It does, but that's another activity that promotes discipline too.
It's tremendous discipline.
It's awesome.
Tremendous discipline. It's not like he wants to, I always say my son Jackson is the best person I know. I mean, this kid's got a heart of gold. Yeah. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. He just wants to know how. It's like that's warrior in the garden. I'm all for it. I tell him, listen, this isn't for going around and being a bully or anything like that. This is just in case you need it. Just in case someone's trying to hurt you. Or your sister, your brothers, whatever. And he completely understands that, which is insane for a 9-year-old to not just try to flex that.
It's maturity.
He's very mature for a 9-year-old. He has no choice. He's got 5 siblings. He's a good kid. I give a lot of credit to my wife, man, because we spent a lot of hours at work. We were at work a lot. And my wife, she bears the brunt of being with the kids, especially in the summertime. Now school's out, she's always with them. And granted, I'm a dad, but she's really kicking ass out there, man.
Is she a stay-at-home mom with the kids?
She works from home.
So she works too.
Yeah, oh yeah, she works
she's like
too.
a superhero.
Yeah, that's what people say.
Oh yeah,
she hears that word all the time. Yeah, she's pretty cool. So hats off to her.
Listen, all the moms out there, when you think about it, you're sitting with 6 kids, but anybody with kids,
oh yeah, family,
mother, what they do, they're superheroes. They
absolutely.
You can't. I'm home for a week, and I'm like, man, I got to get back to work. This is crazy.
Right? Yeah. Right? I mean, you think about it. I'm catching a 4:30 training. Getting home anywhere between 5 and 8 o'clock, depending upon what hours we're working. That's a long day. Kids, it's a long day for us at work, but it's a long day at home too.
What's vacation like for you guys? You guys ever,
We have a blast, man. So anytime we go anywhere, my brother lives in North Carolina.
Okay.
He's like our halfway point. I mean, I'm not trying to fly anywhere with 6 kids.
Yeah.
But it's fun because they like doing the road trip thing. Yeah. Me and my brother down in North Carolina, we stay there for a few days.
Where is he down there?
He's Mooresville.
Okay.
It's like 20, 30 minutes outside of Charlotte.
Yep.
And then, we'll go wherever we're going, whether it be usually Florida. We spend a lot of time, down the Tampa Bay area. We got family in the Keys. So we kick over to the Keys once in a while. And it's all driving, you know. So it's no flying right now.
That's got to be an interesting road trip with them.
Yeah, they actually like it.
Yeah.
That's
good times, man.
Yeah, they like being in the car. They just like being, having us both around at the same time. I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. So how's life on the job? You're all settled in. You're a veteran now, or a veteran of, you're an elevator veteran,
right?
Probably taking some young guys under your wing and trying to steer them in the right direction. Because that's kind of like, even though you're a young guy in this business,
right?
The focus always has to be on our younger members, bringing them in and teaching them the right way, because they're the ones that are going to take over. I mean, guys like yourself are going to carry this organization, but it's the young guys coming in.
I think you always start with safety first.
Yeah.
With the young guys. I mean, not necessarily young guys, just new guys. I mean, not everybody who's, you know, new to this business is young. There's some older helpers in this business now. There's some guys, you know, getting in their 30s, 40s, you know, which is great. But I treat everybody pretty much the same. Man, when it comes to the new guys, it really is safety first. You know, you got to be afraid of this job if you don't know what's going on. And I try to, listen, man, you take the barricade off, you should be hooked up already. You know what I mean? Like just pound safety, because I mean, we talk about it all the time. Statistically, the guys who get hurt are the ones who are just getting in and the ones who are ready to get out.
Right.
You know, I'm in that comfortable, not complacent zone. You know, they're at the end, you're complacent. In the beginning, you just don't know. And I think you got to stress that mostly. So I could be pretty rough on the new guys.
Yeah, that's
because
right. That's tough love, man.
Yeah, a lot of the people say too, you know, elevator guys don't usually get hurt by elevator guys. They get hurt by somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not taking shots at anybody. It's just nobody really understands the depth of what we're dealing with inside the hoistway, especially in new construction. Right. You know, walk downs are mandatory. Yeah. You know, and once we get the doors up, that's a different story. But walk downs are mandatory. Hooking up is mandatory. You know, these are things you're using. Safety glasses are mandatory when you're using tools. You know, like these little things. You think you're gonna have an easy day, and then you get something in your eye. Your day's shot.
Your day is shot.
You know what I mean? You go to the doctor, they're pulling metal out of your eye.
You don't take those things for granted. You know, I remember saying to a kid one time, working on a job, and it was a young helper, and I was a maintenance man, so I very rarely had helpers, but and we were doing something, I forget what it was, and put safety goggles on, and didn't want to put them on, safety glasses. Mm-hmm. And I said, you know what? Close your eyes. Right. Like, don't open them. Right. Until I tell you to. Mm-hmm. And I never said open your eyes, and it's like that's what it's like, bro. How's it feel? You know, just to protect your eyes for crying out loud. So, yeah, glad, and I'm so glad as an older guy in this industry that have seen what it was like years ago. Right. That culture has changed with safety. You know, we had a show with John Hook. That was that first episode.
I watched it. Yeah,
right? That was our first episode for a reason. You know, because that is the most important thing that we do here, is that everybody, you know, works safe, and that culture is of safety. And guys like yourself are pushing it. It's mandatory. It's not it's not like it was years ago. What are you putting that thing on for? No, you're wearing it. And if you don't wear it, you're out of here. And and you're gonna thank me later. Right? So God forbid something happens, that thing's gonna save your life, and it only takes one time.
Right, it does. I mean, everything in this business is high up and heavy. That's what people who don't know, the neighbors, they talk, oh, what do you do? You build elevators. Oh, that's a great job. What do you do? So I just do everything high up and heavy. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, everything's heavy and we're going high. Like, that's...
And things happen quick.
Yeah.
Things happen quick.
It only takes, Vinny used to always like, take a moment. It only takes an instant. Change everything. Yep. You know, it really is. You think that you're doing something that's, like I said, you got to be comfortable, not complacent, because as soon as you forget this could hurt you, this could kill you. It could be the day that you go home without something, or you don't go home at all. You know, you don't want to be that guy. Yeah. Nobody wants to see it happen either.
Nobody wants to see it happen. You know, you got people that are working here that aren't married, don't have kids. You got a big responsibility home with 6 kids and a wife. But even though if you don't have a wife and kids, like, whatever, you might have a mother, a father, friends. You know, somebody's gonna be sad if something happens to you, right? So think about those people.
The guys next to you.
The guys that work with you.
The guys, if nobody else, the guys next to you. I mean, I think everybody who works with somebody's like, it's the best guy ever. It's the best. You know, no matter who you're working with, it could be, if you're working here, you're working there. You love the guys you're working with. You want to work with. That guy next to you sees you go down, it's going to be hard on him. It's going to be hard on him.
For his whole life.
His entire life. No doubt about it. You don't want to see anybody get hurt in this business. Does it happen? Unfortunately. Can we prevent it? We could try. We could try. So safety first for the new guys, always. That's where it is.
You know, that mentality that you talk about, like that guy next to you is the greatest guy, whether he is or not, whatever he is. That's what's great about this industry, right? Oh, yeah. Working in the trades, all trades, you're working hand in hand with somebody and you're forming these relationships. You don't get that in a lot of industries out there, having an office job. And listen, every job's great. We need everybody that's out there. We need, insurance people, we need sales, we need them all.
Mm-hmm.
But to actually work in this industry and be able to experience, that camaraderie. You came from a place that, that's what it is. You guys are a unit, and it's different. But, a lot of people will say that, this is the closest thing to that.
I agree with
as
that.
far as, having those friendships, that camaraderie, having somebody's back.
Yeah.
You don't see that in a lot of industries.
I haven't worked in many other ones, at this point, did security and worked on trucks for a little bit, but then it was Marine Corps and elevators. Yeah. So it's like, I'm fortunate. Everybody I work with, we're all a team. We treat each other fairly.
That's great. It's good to hear. So how old are you?
37.
37.
Yeah.
All right. So you're a young guy.
Yeah.
But never lose sight of what's coming, right? Retirement, right? And that's another part of what's great about the trades is we talked about those health benefits. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the retirement benefits, bro, are just, you look at guys like myself that are getting ready to go, and some of the guys that are getting older. What an awesome feeling to be able to get to the end and be able to retire and be comfortable, right? Far too often we see, like my dad worked for Con Edison. Mm-hmm. And listen, he had a great life and supported, wife and 3 kids. Right. His retirement was nothing like mine. He was fine. He retired and lived his life and all that. But man, this is a great place.
Hey, max out that 401k.
Max it out.
Max out the 401k.
I've been maxing out for a long time. And that's a message that, again, to the younger kid that retirement, that's 30, 35 years from now. Well, guess what, man? The sooner you start preparing for it, the better off you're going to be.
I had, before I worked with Vinny, I worked with this guy, Mike Locke, who's passed away now. He was a great guy. He had something he told me. He goes, 2 things I can't take away from you: your time and attendance and your knowledge. And I just tried to carry that with me. I mean, you're at work, you're getting your wage, your medical, your pension hours, your annuity, the more you're at work, the more you're building towards that retirement, right? And then hopefully the more you're at work, the more you're learning. That's the idea. And then that's where you carry your value, man. Yeah. Do you show up every day, and do you care enough to know what you're doing? And I feel like that goes a real long way. That's what I've been trying to do for the last 12, 13 years. Learn. I said, if you're not learning, you're not earning, Right. So I'm trying to, every day you can learn something new. There's more than one way to do anything in this business. So show up and learn as much as you can and get that 401k going. Yes, it's nearsighted, but farsighted. You got to do all that so you can be ready for the end game, whatever that is, retirement. Yeah. We're all working towards that, right? We don't want to do this forever.
We don't. I'll tell you what, I've met very few people that don't say they actually have a good time at work.
Oh, I'm blessed to work.
This industry.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Where can you go work with your buddies and build cool stuff? Right. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, you guys get to do that, and you're getting paid where you're getting paid, and you're getting that it's awesome.
It's the same thing with Marines in Afghanistan.
That's right.
Where else can you go and have fun getting blown up?
You're blowing things up or getting blown up.
Yeah, exactly. It's you pulling a deck or you're sending a deck. You're roping a car. It's whatever it is that you're doing. You got to trust the guys you're with. You have a little fun doing it. Yeah. If you're not having fun at work, I get it. Sometimes you got to buckle it down. It's all about business, but you got to laugh a little bit.
You do. And we get that opportunity.
Oh yeah,
we do.
More than most, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. So listen, we probably got a recruitment coming up.
That's good knowledge.
So, getting that word out. Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk about it on this podcast and get it out there. I want to invite other trades when they want to, promote their recruitment. It's a great idea. We're gonna probably have one coming up. So, people that you may know.
When are they doing that?
We're probably gonna, we have a JC meeting coming up next week. We'll probably talk about dates, but I like to do it when I was doing it all the time with a December application, and then roll into that testing in like January, February, and the reason being, it's a crappy time of year. I'd rather do it in January and February and March than in the summertime, right? Because recruitment's for the people that are running it kind of blows their life up for a little while.
Oh yeah.
But it's also, we'll get some support from out of town and hotel rooms in the conference space is the cheapest in, January, February. So that's how I always like to time it. Right. So we're probably looking at, maybe sometime in December.
That's awesome.
For applications. So,
all online, like we've been doing for the past few years.
Yeah. The difference is we don't crash no more. We
That's
crashed
good.
those couple of times, and then we fixed the problem, and then it went the other way. It was 47 seconds.
When I first got in, and I was already in, and they were doing a recruitment like a couple years later.
Yeah.
And everyone was talking about online. It was crashing. I was like, thank God
terrible.
I didn't have to do that.
It was, it is. It's a testament to just how valuable these jobs are.
Oh yeah.
With thousands and thousands of people that are trying to apply. Now, so the last recruitment that we did, we built that program. That's ours now. Right? We don't use the company that crashed anymore. That was a great company. They just weren't equipped to handle that kind of traffic.
Right.
And we built our own. Now that we built our own, we were able to peek behind the curtain and see the analytics behind it. And we know, bro, there was over 5,000 people that were on.
I bet.
Trying to get at that 10 a.m. when that application opened on that, I think it was December 20th or 21st, a couple of years ago.
You think it's better to do it online than, have a line around the block?
Listen, there's, you can go either way, right? The problem with the line around the block, you got different rules now. When we did my first recruitment, which was in 2014, if we're going to do it that way, we had to be open for 10 business days.
Okay.
Right. So it was from 8 to 12, Monday through Friday for 2 weeks. And you got this line of people around the block, and you really can't control how many applications. So now doing it online, we can limit it to, 15 applications. It becomes a more manageable
right.
Amount of people.
It's just easier.
The process. But 47 seconds, 1,500. So now it's like, holy smokes, you can't fart around. You got to be on there, put in your information.
Get ready, go.
So it's an opportunity. It comes around every, 3 to 4 years.
Yeah.
So if you know anybody, spread the word. We'll be spreading the word. We'll probably post something.
December, January, right? December, January.
Probably December. I would think December.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
Make this opportunity.
I can convince my brother to come up from North Carolina.
There you go.
I don't know what I'm going to do on the halfway spot then.
Well, listen, we got a great local down there. I mean, it's another great thing about being here with the IUC is the locals all around the country. You can bounce around. We see it all the time. We'll get word from, Local 19 out in Seattle. Hey, it's booming. Do you have anybody? And we'll send people out there, people from out of town sometimes.
It's
not right now, but
something just going on recently, right? Like Vermont was looking for somebody, I think it was.
Yeah, there's always, the agents will get a call that, do you have anybody? So it's good stuff, man. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll advertise that, and that's always fun times for the local and doing recruitment.
Right.
Make that opportunity available to some people out there that are looking for a great job, and soon we'll hope to have Ann and Allie and her crew on the show and talk about helmets and promote
awesome.
them. Because
that's a good one for anybody.
Because they are awesome.
Yeah, they really do. They have, like I said, they're great people, Ann and Allie. Their whole purpose is just to help veterans get into these trades, and can't be thankful enough for that. I said thank you to them if they're listening in. You guys are the best. Appreciate it.
Yeah. What I love about her, she likes to tell how it is, right?
She'll pull no shots.
Don't pull those strings.
No way. She's gonna tell you exactly. If you're messed up, she's gonna tell you messed up.
Oh yeah.
But they're also, what's even better than that is they will go above and beyond to help you. Like, you guys get it right. Like if you did something wrong, they're gonna tell you, and they're gonna show you exactly what you got to do to get back on track. And you can't ask for anything. Can't ask for anything more than that.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is. You can only hope that if you make a mistake, there's someone to help you get back on track.
Sure.
And
we'll make mistakes.
They only want to make everybody as good. They love the veterans. They think this is great for the unions too.
Sure it is.
You bring in structure and discipline right into something that's structured.
Right out of the gate.
Right. It's already, that's what unions are, structured and disciplined. It's the same thing in the military. So it really is a good transitional fit.
It is. It's really two things, because you guys come bring that structure and that discipline, right?
Right.
So we're like, okay, that person coming in here is structured, is disciplined. It's like, just tell me what I got to do. That trickles down to the people that they're working with. And,
For
you know,
sure.
you get the young kid that comes into the business, right? Sometimes that they can go in many different directions. They can maybe be a slacker, they can be a rock star, they can go down the middle, and you put them with the right person and they're going to become like that person. So you guys, not only how you carry yourselves, but that influence that you have on the rest of the members, trust me when I tell you, it rubs off. It really does. And that to me is just as important as what you bring to the table for yourself. It's how you rub off on the younger guys.
You start working around people, you start becoming a little bit like them. You know, you just take a little bit from each other. That's how you make this stronger. You know, we'd all learn from each other.
100%.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Without a doubt.
That's the way to do it. You know?
So give me one good message. We'll wrap this up to the young guy, the veteran that's out there, you know, that comes out of the service, doesn't really know what he wants to do about a life, not necessarily working for Local One, but working in the building trades.
Listen, it's the closest thing to the camaraderie you're gonna get, man, and it comes with a bunch of benefits. You know, you're gonna pick up a skill that you may not have otherwise had. You're gonna work with guys that you can rely on. I mean, I have guys that I could call right now, or in the middle of the night. Doesn't matter. You're going right from one brotherhood to the next, and you're learning a bunch of skills in between. It's just a great opportunity. And just like the military, it's going to be what you make it. If you want to exceed and go far, you will. It's just how it goes.
I would imagine too, for somebody that's coming out of the military that had that culture, right? That camaraderie. I have a hard time saying
camaraderie. Yeah.
And then go into industries that don't have that, and need that, right? They're like constantly seeking it, and that they want that more than maybe the great paying job. Money's whatever. I need that closeness. I need that brother next to me.
We got all of that, man.
Yeah. And
we have a great paying job with a brotherhood.
Yeah.
You really can't ask for anything more. I mean, you could, but it'd be crazy. I mean, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm with the trades, man. You should give it that's what you should do.
Yeah, absolutely. You know? Well, listen, brother, thank you for coming down.
Appreciate
I really
you having
appreciate
me.
it. You guys just are the rock stars of the world, man.
We had some good leaders, man. We got some really good leaders here. I mean, and we just brought in some new young leaders. We've been in a really good position with leadership in this local for a long time. So you can't, you know, it starts at the top. You got good leaders at the top. You're going to have good leaders trickling down, just like you said, you know, so. Thank you guys as well.
Those young guys that are coming up, they're all great guys. But, you know, and we have a lot of leaders, as many as we have upstairs.
Right in the
field. We got that many more, like yourself, on these jobs that might not have the title, but you're no less a leader than those guys upstairs.
Right, 100%.
You know, and you know, you guys just bring a lot to the table. So I appreciate you personally for what you bring to Local One.
I appreciate it.
But
Thank you.
the veterans as a whole is just, like I said, I come from a family of vets, so I kind of get it.
Right.
But man, working here and seeing you guys come in, you know, I really get it.
Yeah.
And I'll end it with, again, how I kind of started. Thank you for, you know, what you guys have done that allows dopes like me to be able to live my silly life and going out, being able to hit a golf ball and do whatever on your back. And I appreciate it.
I appreciate you guys too, man. Thank you, Helms Hearts. Thank you, Local One, man. We're all gonna keep this thing going.
All right, pal. Thank you.
Thanks, Rich.
All right, bye.
Who's going for coffee?